Welcome to SaaS Reality, a podcast where two budding founders talk about their businesses. Join Simon and Dean to find out what it really takes to build, launch, and run a SaaS product. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Simon. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Back from 2 days in London, so back to normal routine now.
Oh, fancy. Did you get any work done in London then, or are you pretty busy with business stuff?
Just the day job stuff. It's full on while I'm down there. Yeah, no time to myself really. It's just, full on. Big client on at the moment, so lots of work to do.
Fair enough.
I don't mind visiting London now and again. 2-3 days max, really.
They put you in a fancy hotel?
No, I stay with my ex-business partner.
I'm glad you said business partner on the end of that.
Yeah. Save on hotel bills for the company. And my ex-business partner's a friend as well. So
fair enough.
It's all well and good. Got to watch Game of Thrones on his huge TV.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got a 60-odd inch screen. So
not too bad.
That was interesting.
Is it good at dark scenes?
We had the blind down, so it wasn't too bad. It was bright daylight outside when we watched it. So.
That's what I'm finding with my television. It's a pretty new one, like 4K and 50-inch telly, but it's not fantastic at really dark scenes.
Yeah, I think you need OLED or an old school plasma.
Oh, well.
Another couple of grand.
Yeah, I'm all right.
It's all money these days.
Yeah.
So before we get into really what prompted this early recording, do you just want to give an update on what you've managed to get done since the last podcast?
I've just been getting on with odds and sods around Automeli. So finishing off some views here and there and testing some bugs in other places. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. No major milestones or anything like that to report back.
Right. Okay.
Yourself?
Yeah, I've done a bit. Primarily a landing page. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, is it online?
No, it's not online. It's still underway. It really focuses your mind when you start putting together a bit of marketing copy for the landing page.
This is what I said like 3 episodes ago.
So, what am I actually building this for? You know, what are the benefits here? Yeah. So just working out. I've got most of the copy written, but it's front end work. It's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Even though I'm using a template, I'm just so bad at it. I've not done it for 13 years. You know, we've had a design team. We've always passed that on to the designers and we just fill in the blanks on the HTML sort of things. Yeah. It's not work I enjoy, but it's got to be done. Yeah, I've done a bit of database refactoring as well as the stuff I mentioned previously. So just a few more tweaks and discovered that AWS have these things called ARNs, Amazon Resource resource names, which is like a fully qualified name for an object in AWS. So your instance will have an instance ID, but combined with the region and your account ID and so on, it creates a fully qualified name.
Oh, okay.
But they don't give you that information in the API calls. So I'm going to need that behind the scenes. And I'm having to build a little helper class to generate ARNs from the data coming back from the API calls. So that's just a small diversion, but it'll be a useful helper class when it's done. I might open source it. And we'll see.
They changed them recently, didn't they, to add more? Was it more characters to them, or was it some other idea?
Yeah. That's pretty much where I am. I'm going to focus now on getting the landing page done. I think I need to have it out there and get some people signing up to the mailing list.
Yeah, as I say, it really helps with sort of what you should help with working out what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, people are hitting the domain. You know, I talk about cloudinsights.app and people are hitting the domain, which just redirects to CloudDoc at the moment. So it's kind of misleading what it's all about at the moment. Get that sorted out. I probably need the weekend to finish that off, to be honest. So expect it to go live Sunday night.
Well, I'll check it in.
I'll let you know.
Well, I'm sure all the listeners, by the time this is published, it should be online then, shouldn't it?
Yeah. And it does really focus your mind and you do start to question, right, well, what am I actually building? Which is a nice segue into a conversation you wanted to have around Automeli.
Yeah, I'm just starting to get a bit worried, that's all. I don't know if it's like pre-launch anxiety or whatever, but just feeling a bit sort of, am I building the right thing here? Am I going to be able to get customers? Is it actually going to make any money? Yeah, just the blues.
Yeah, questioning every decision.
Yeah.
I think Automeli is a great product. I keep saying this. I am going to be using it Probably. Depends on pricing, but I'll certainly use it at some point. I'm hoping to dive straight in on it. So I think, yes, you're right in that you are building a product that's going to be needed and wanted. Maybe you need to talk to a few people.
Yeah, including yourself. I've got about 6 or 7 people I've just been talking to while building who are interested in using it. It's just a worry about numbers and stuff and competition and all sorts. Yeah. So trying to sort of break it down, my goal is always to try and always put the numbers around $50K turnover a year, right? So like set that as a goal, which is, what's it, 4,166 a month or whatever you're going to call it, 4,200.
Yeah.
And that just worries me because the plans start at like $9 a month, which is
too cheap.
Too cheap. That's like 460 customers. So that's bad. That's way too many customers. I think Snapshooter in 2.5 years has just reached 200 customers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully people wouldn't be that small. That presumes everyone is less than 2,000 in monthly recurring revenue, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, what about Snapshooter size businesses? And that gets it down to 115. But then that worries me, still trying to find 115 Snapshooter sized businesses who are like keen to go and start spending sort of $30 to $50 a month on emailing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, you know my opinion on your pricing. Too cheap.
Charge more. Too cheap.
Not necessarily charge more, but how you've tiered it with $9 a month per 1K MRR, is it, for your customers? So
correct. Yeah.
If your customer is doing 1K or less in MRR, then it's just $9 a month.
Yeah.
I personally think your lowest tier should be 19 or 29.
Let me get my notepad out. 19. Okay, I was just thinking that on the phone, actually. And just say 19, and that gets you all the way up to whatever it is.
Up to 2K MRR.
Yeah.
Or up to 5K MRR, whatever.
And then after that, go at the $9 tiers.
Yeah, possibly. Or even spread it out a bit more. So rather than doing per 1K of MRR, you just say up to 5K MRR, charge 19 or 29 a month. Up to 10K MRR, charge 49 a month.
Yeah.
And so on. So bigger jumps.
Oh, I just worried about that because I talked about this in the past with people, and it seems maybe I didn't talk to enough people and it was just sort of a couple of people who were concerned. But if you imagine the tier structure, if you just fall over into the next tier, let's say you make $1 more in recurring revenue, the percentage of MMR to what you're paying suddenly goes way up. So at the top of the tier, you're looking at 1%, but at the bottom of the tier, you're looking at like 4 or 5% or whatever it is.
Yeah, but the way to negate that is you're looking at $9 per 1K of MRR. So for 5K MRR, how much would that be? That's 9 times 5, right?
Yes.
Which is whatever. Mental arithmetic, never been my strong suit.
45.
Yeah. So if you set your first tier at $29 up to 5K, then they're getting much better value straight away.
Yeah.
And when they tip over into the next tier, they're actually already
getting value
where you would have had them. Yeah.
Okay.
And value is the next thing to speak about. So I think $9 per 1K. One, it's too cheap to start with. I think you need a higher base amount.
Multiplier, right?
And probably a bigger spread on the price increases.
Okay.
Which brings us to the value in those tiers.
Yeah.
So going over what Automaily does, it helps you recover lost income.
Correct. That was the main vision.
Okay. So if somebody's got 5K MRR, pay you 29 a month.
Yes.
And recover 2 clients or 1 customer at $49. They've got more than their value out of Automaily.
Yes.
So just because it's not necessarily a huge overhead for you to run Automaily per customer doesn't mean to say it's not valuable.
True. Maybe I need to gear more marketing towards actually saving money and recovering money, and it'll pay for itself.
Yeah. Basically market it as free money. For every 29 you spend a month with us, you will probably save 2 or 3 times your customer MRR.
If you were not using a tool in the first place.
Yeah. If it's a business that's selling something for $4.99 a month.
Yep.
As in $4.99, $5 a month. They may not get that much value from this because they would need to recover many customers a month.
Yeah.
But for that Automaily customer that's saving one of their own customers churning at $49 or $99 or $79, whatever they're paying you, they're earning back a greater amount. So that's the value. And also it's on autopilot and they don't have to have somebody manually checking. So not only are you recovering more money than they're paying, you're also freeing up time, which is also money for them.
Sort of brings me on to my next sort of concern at the moment is just market positioning. So there are already a lot of tools out there for recovering churn. Churn busters, there's Stunning, ProfitWell have a tool, Metrics have a tool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw someone on Product Hunt the other day with just Stunning, which just sends emails on payment failures. Obviously, we're a bit more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to position ourselves. Because I'm sort of like Churn Busters and Stunning, but with drip capabilities, but without being drip or customer IO or ConvertKit or whatever, or user list, for example. They're very new and it's almost in that competition space. And I'm looking to enter into that competition space as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be further down the line though, isn't it? I think.
Yes. It's the churn stuff is the big stuff at the moment and the onboarding.
Yeah. You mentioned competition there.
Yeah.
And they're all trading and doing well.
Yes.
Or doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that validates the market.
That's true.
If you can find any customer profile information for your competitors, I mean, is there average customer, what's their customer persona? Somebody running a SaaS at 50K MRR or somebody running a SaaS at 5K MRR? Hard to find that information, but if you can, that will give you a lot of intelligence to aim your pricing at, whether you want to go head to head or whether you want to hit a lower or higher than where they're aiming.
Yeah, I kind of want to ignore their pricing and not use them as like the floor or whatever and just...
Yeah, you don't want to compete with them on pricing.
No, and I'm also trying to do more than what they're doing. Obviously, Metrics and ProfitWell are they're like additions to analytics for a SaaS business, where Churn Busters and Stunning are literally just about recovering income.
Yeah.
I guess the differential is that the Churn Busters and Stunning, you basically just give them your Stripe account, and then you're kind of at the mercy of how they want to handle the recovery. So if you pay on the cheapest plan on Churn Busters, there's not really much sort of customization or anything like that, where I'm trying to build something where you can, for example, gear up churn recovery depending on how the user's acted in the account, which you can't really do with Churn Busters or Stunning. For example, if you sign up to Automaily and you never connect your Stripe account, it's not really a case of the trial has failed because you didn't provide a card. It's like the trial actually failed to provide any value. So there should be a completely different process for the SaaS owner in that case to actually try and recover that income or make that trial successful.
Yeah, regardless of what the competition are doing and charging.
Yeah.
The whole Automaily idea came out of an actual need you have with SnapShooter.
Yes.
Because you were having the failed payments, you were having the card expiries, and you were spending your Saturdays chasing cards and emailing customers, your card's expired, please add a new card.
Yeah.
Automaily puts all this on autopilot. So that's got to save minimum of an hour a week, even for the smallest business.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but you could use Stripe's inbuilt payment recovery system. So they'll automatically send an email when a payment fails, or you could listen to that webhook yourself and send your own email.
But that means people have got to engineer that themselves.
Yeah, this is where I thought the value of a tool would come in, because, for example, if I send off a payment reminder email and it bounces, that's a different process. If you send it off and the client or the customer never opens the email, that's kind of, maybe you want to do something different if they don't open the email, where you don't see that from Stripe. And if you do it yourself, that's a hell of a lot of work just for recovering.
Yeah, because you track opens, right?
Yeah, track opens and deliveries and clicks and stuff. So
yeah, and your workflows, we've talked about the workflows. So
yeah, you can add that as well.
You would have your branching based on whether they opened or not.
Yeah, you could potentially do that. So
whether they clicked the link in the email.
Yeah.
They might have opened it but not clicked the link, in which case they could go into another sequence.
Yeah.
Which would send different emails to them, which is something that nobody else does, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. My other thoughts are that I'm trying to compete with what you can do with Drip or ConvertKit or in the future user list. I'm trying to be something you just plug your SaaS business into, which you use Stripe to power the whole thing because that's the most sensible thing to be doing. And then from there, you can run a hell of a lot of your SaaS business without doing any coding. That's kind of my idea and was the original premise, that just plug in your Stripe account, then you can come in here, you can hand it off to the marketing team. They don't need to learn how to program. They can set up complicated workflows. They just need the developers to use Stripe correctly, and then in the future send data to Automaily, like user created snapshot or user deactivated droplet or whatever it is. And then from there, the marketing team and the sales team or whatever team it would be in that case can just go absolutely nuts with building custom workflows and never writing a single line of code.
Yeah, which is perfect. I mean, you're not Drip, you're not a marketing automation platform yet. The original need was around the charges and the expiry on the cards. I think you just need to launch with that, with the workflows.
Yeah.
Don't focus on anything further down the line than that.
Is it just Stripe-based workflows? Is that literally all I'm pitching as at the moment?
Yeah, I think so. Get across the line with that. See how people use it. See what people want from that. Get some income coming in from it. And then you can think about taking on Drip.
That was my next thing, is actually acquiring customers. Yeah. Because I always had the mindset that I'd go after people like us. Like, they hadn't launched yet. And it's like a prime opportunity to get someone on board when they're building their SaaS product. Is if you've already built all of this stuff into your SaaS, whether you're using an existing tool or you've coded it yourself, I feel like you're very, very unlikely to want to just drop and go to something else, even if it's just sunk cost.
Well, I'm not sure, because who would build a full workflow thing into their SaaS when that's not their primary business?
It's true, but I mean, if you're building it yourself, you're obviously going to build it.
Well, some people may.
You could obviously go a lot simpler.
If some people have, then they're not your customers.
That's true.
Ignore them. If some people haven't, they're your customers. If some people have a rudimentary thing, but really need something with more intelligence, then they're prime targets. It's like, well, yeah, you know the benefit of detecting expired cards and failed payments. Now you can take it to the next level with intelligent branching and workflow.
How do you find the customer that's got to the stage where it's become a problem? You've built your SaaS product, you're making some money, and then you're thinking, payments are failing, I'm fed up with this.
Isn't that anyone with a SaaS that's making money?
Yeah.
Or taking payments?
That's true.
That's literally who it is. I think you should be aiming for the 5K up.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3K up.
That's fine. I'll badger every single person on Indie Hackers who's revealed their company's income.
Yes. But yeah, that's a good source of people to reach out to and try and have a chat with, actually.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Then I have to worry about them hurting my feelings.
It's just business.
Well, precious flower, you know.
It's just business. Don't take it personally.
Yeah.
You'll get people having bad days and they'll be rude. You get some people who are just too busy and will ignore you, and others who are just in that pain point at the moment will be glad to hear from you. So
I did once email someone about SSH key management service quite a while ago, and the guy replied back just saying, terrible idea. That's like,
so, right, okay, you're not my customer.
Well, I mean, it was very valid feedback, so I took it on board. It was all on the grounds of security, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, seriously, people have shared revenue on Indie Hackers, and I would say find those with 3K up.
Yeah.
If you're still interested in the lower end and helping out streamline, people who are solo founders or maybe a team of 1, 2 or 3, and helping them streamline things and not have to put the time into all this dunning stuff.
Yeah. I guess if we're thinking of starting at $19, that kind of rules out anyone who's making less than like $1,000 a month.
Not necessarily.
Oh, I just interested. If they're only making $100 a month, they're not going to want to spend 20% of their income on.
No, but would they spend 10%?
Yeah.
$9,
But we just said we should start at 19.
Yeah, I know, but they wouldn't pay 19, nor would they pay 9.
Yeah, that's true.
You need companies that are making money, in my opinion, who are willing to pay something to save time and or claw back revenue.
See, my plan was always to start off like with a really a small free tier, and then hope as people grow, so they would also then just grow with Automately. So they've been onboarded from the beginning. But then if I was to look back at Snapshooter, for me, it's grown really well over the last 2 years. But if I was to take 1%, which is kind of what $9 is, that's nothing to get to this point. So there's a lot of businesses and a lot of waiting around. And not to discourage anyone, but there's pretty high failure rate, isn't there, on SaaS products or any business?
Yeah. And you could always offer a freemium tier of less than 1K or less than 500 MRR.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe I wouldn't open that up at the start because I'd be worried about server load. And also, I don't want to send emails on people's behalf without being charged.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've got that worry where I think if you're paying, you're less likely to abuse me.
Yeah. My opinion is Automately gives an awful lot of value. If you can Cloud Insights is going to be $49.99 a month per customer. If I can save one of those a month, it'll pay for itself.
That's true.
And save me a hell of a lot of time sending emails out and chasing people. Okay, you're not going to completely remove that, but
no, I guess at least if you think that even if they didn't recover and you've configured Automately to send 5 emails or whatever, at least that's 5 emails that you didn't have to send yourself.
Yeah, and that's half an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Depends how slow you are at
typing.
Well,
you then got to run reports and check stuff. And okay, I feel a little happier, but still.
If anyone out there's got their own views on this, certainly drop us a line at podcast@saasreality.com. Yeah, we can maybe have another session on this later on.
Yeah.
Let's get some feedback.
Cool. Do you have anything else to add, really?
No, not really. I've just got lots of lovely hours doing landing pages. I'm also going to try and kickstart the blog with it as well. So
I've been thinking about that. It's just it just takes so much time, right?
Yeah, try and get 1 article a week written.
Oh, that's a big commitment, isn't it?
It's got to be done though.
Yeah.
Need to build that trust. Give something. So yeah, I think that's about it for this week.
Brilliant. Okay. Thank you for listening to the SaaS Reality podcast. Why not head over to saasreality.com and be part of the community, and you can join in the discussions. You can send questions and comments to us at podcast@saasreality.com or message us in the Slack community. If you've enjoyed our episode, we'd really appreciate if you could give us a review, especially on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts from, and it'll help us to find more people like yourself. And we'll catch you all next week. Catch you later, Dean.
Speak to you next week.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.